Imagine a world without language. How would you express love, share stories, or build relationships? Language is more than just words. It travels with us throughout life, shaping who we are and how we connect with the world. Today, let's have a look at how language travels with us throughout life, from our first words to the legacies we leave behind.
Language development starts even before we are born. By 25 weeks of pregnancy, a baby's ears can hear sounds, including the rhythm of their mother's speech. Babies begin with cooing and babbling, which are universal across cultures. Around 12 months, they utter their first recognizable words. This marks a monumental step in cognitive development. Studies have shown that talking and reading to babies significantly boosts their language acquisition. By the time they enter school, these children know up to 30 million more words than their peers who weren't spoken to as often. Did you know in some cultures, children are encouraged to speak early, while in others, they learn by observing and listening more? A Japanese child might say itadakimasu before a meal, while a Spanish child might say gracias after receiving food, showing how culture influences first words. In school, language becomes a structured tool for learning. It's the key to mastering subjects like math and science, as well as arts and literature. Peer groups often develop their own linguistic codes, such as slang or inside jokes, as a way of bonding. For example, the rise of internet slangs like LOL, which stands for laughing out loud, and BRB, which stands for be right back, has created a shared digital language. Did you know that there are about 7,100 languages spoken worldwide, but only 23 of them account for more than half of the world's population? With globalization, classrooms are becoming more multilingual. This fosters cross-cultural understanding but also raises challenges in teaching methods. A bilingual student who speaks both Spanish and English can often switch between languages seamlessly, a phenomenon known as code switching. Communication is vital in almost every profession. From doctors explaining treatments to lawyers arguing cases, language shapes success. English is often called the language of business. More than 1.5 billion people speak it as a first, second, or a foreign language, making it the most studied language in the whole world. The word okay is considered the most universally understood word. It's used in almost every language thanks to its simplicity and adaptability. Language helps us build and maintain relationships. The way we express love, apologize, or even argue depends on the nuances of our language. Some languages have words for concepts, others don't. For instance, the German word Schadenfreude describes the joy derived from someone else's misfortune, while the Japanese word komorebi refers to sunlight filtering through the trees. In a professional setting, using please and thank you creates goodwill, while clear communication in relationships prevents misunderstandings. As we grow older, language becomes a bridge to the past. Hearing an old song or phrase can instantly trigger vivid memories. People who are fluent in 2 or more languages often retain sharper cognitive functions in old age. Speaking multiple languages is like exercise for the brain, reducing the risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. Elders use language to share family history, cultural values, and moral lessons. Storytelling is an ancient art that keeps traditions alive. Unfortunately, many languages are disappearing. Every 2 weeks, a language dies, taking with it a unique way of seeing the world. There are efforts to revive endangered languages like Hawaiian and Maori through schools and cultural programs. Linguist Noam Chomsky proposed that all humans are born with an innate ability to learn language, known as universal grammar. This explains why children can learn any language with ease. Not all communication is verbal. Did you know American Sign Language (ASL) is recognized as a complete language with its own grammar and structure? Non-verbal cues like facial expressions also play a huge role in understanding. Whistling languages like Silbo-Gomero in the Canary Islands allow speakers to communicate across long distances using whistled tones that mimic spoken language. Today, Tools like Google Translate and AI language models bridge gaps between languages, though they're far from perfect.
As Nelson Mandela once said, if you talk to somebody in a language they understand, it goes to their head. But if you talk to them in their language, it goes to their heart. This highlights the profound emotional power of language. So let's cherish it, celebrate its diversity, and ensure that it is preserved for the generations to come. Thank you.